This hidden OBDSTR feature will save you hours on VAG MQB key programming. Welcome to Baabji Motors, where car tech meets clarity and your time in the garage gets smarter every day. Before we jump into today's jaw-dropping update, let me ask you a quick question. Did you know your diagnostic tool could remember a car's IMMO data even after a full key loss? If that sounds wild, you're going to love what's coming. If you already know how that's possible, I challenge you. Drop your answer in the comments right now. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. All demonstrations and content discussed are aimed at helping vehicle technicians, car enthusiasts, and learners understand diagnostic tools and procedures. We follow all fair use principles by using media solely for learning and review. All trademarks and brand names mentioned belong to their respective owners. Always refer to OEM guidelines and comply with your local regulations when working on vehicles. Now, let's get into the gear and fire up today's deep dive, because if you're someone who's ever dreaded reprogramming a VAG MQB system after an all keys lost AKL situation, you're in for a massive time saver. And hey, if you've ever benefited from any of our content, please pause for just a second and hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny, but helps Baabji Motors stay in your pit crew. Ring the bell, give us a like, and let's smash our goal, 10,000 likes and 1,000 comments in the next 24 hours. Can we do it? I think we can. Let's break down the big headline. OBDSTAR's VAG MQB IMMO software has just received a major upgrade. The new version 45.12, rolls out a game-changing feature, the Query Historical IMMO Data function. This update is available for tools like the OBDSTAR X300 Classic G3, Keymaster 5, and X300 Pro4. So what does this update really do? Buckle up, because this is the part where most technicians will either breathe a huge sigh of relief or start questioning why this wasn't always a thing. Picture this. You're dealing with a VAG MQB vehicle that had all keys lost, and you already programmed new keys using the OBDSTAR G3 or Keymaster 5 paired with the RH850 adapter kit. Normally, if you revisit this vehicle later, you need to go through the same long and often painful process of reading IMMO data again or waiting for online sync code calculations. But not anymore. Thanks to this new Query Historical IMMO Data function, the moment you connect that same car via OBD again, the tool recognizes the vehicle automatically and retrieves the previously stored IMMO data. That means no need to pull data from the original cluster again. No online sync code recalculation needed. Dealer key generation becomes practically instant. It's like your diagnostic tool now has memory. It acts like a smart archive that recalls everything important about that vehicle's immobilizer system. For those who work on fleets, dealers, or repeatedly see the same VAG MQB vehicles, this feature is pure gold. And it gets better. The update doesn't stop there. It also enhances the ECU information reading function. Now, users get even more accurate engine module data, making diagnostics more precise, repairs more informed, and ECU replacement smoother. Imagine having detailed engine info right at your fingertips every time you connect to a car. That's the kind of edge that saves time and avoids mistakes. Now, if you're watching and thinking, wow, this could save me hours in the shop, then you're absolutely right. And you're exactly who this feature was built for. And if you've ever had to redo work simply because your tool didn't recall the last IMMO data session, then you know just how frustrating and unnecessary that process can be. This update bridges the gap between past work and present diagnostics. It turns your tool into a long-term companion for each vehicle you service, not just a one-time programmer. And midway through this, let me just pause and say thank you. If you're a returning viewer or a regular subscriber of Baabji Motors, your continued support is what drives us to keep exploring, testing, and teaching every single week. And if you're new, welcome to the family. Don't forget to hit that like button if you've learned even a little something so far. And hey, why not take a moment now and comment below if this update is something you've been waiting for, or if you think another tool should follow suit. Now, let's bring this full circle. The idea that a diagnostic tool can now store and recall previous immobilizer data for MQB vehicles isn't just a luxury. It's a step towards smart, efficient vehicle servicing. Think of it as the tool evolving to match your memory as a technician. You remember the cars you worked on, right? Now your tool does too. At Baabji Motors, we think this is a huge leap forward, especially for those handling high volumes of key programming. It also simplifies post-AKL follow-ups dramatically. In our opinion, this is exactly the kind of innovation that deserves more spotlight in the automotive diagnostic world. But we want to hear from you. Do you think this historical IMMO data function is a real-world game changer? Or just another spec that looks good on paper? Drop your honest take in the comments. We read every single one. And before we wrap this up, here's the answer to the question we asked in the beginning. Yes, the OBDSTAR tool can now remember previously programmed VAG MQB IMMO data even after an all-keys loss scenario. And it does it automatically when you reconnect via OBD. No extra steps, no online delay. Just plug in and go. If you're thinking that's impressive, then you're absolutely right. And we're just scratching the surface of what tools like the OBDSTAR G3 and Keymaster 5 can really do. And now, here's a fun fact before we sign off. Did you know that Volkswagen's MQB platform underpins everything from the Golf to the Audi TT and even the Seat Leon? That means this update doesn't just help you with one car. It helps you with hundreds of different models across the VAG lineup. So whether you're a pro technician or just love learning about diagnostic tools and what they can do, you're in the right place. If you found value in today's breakdown, then do us a favor. Like this video, share it with a fellow technician or enthusiast, and hit that subscribe button with feeling. Leave a comment telling us how you'd use this new feature, and don't forget, we're aiming for 10,000 likes and 1,000 comments in the first 24 hours. Can you help us reach that? We think you can. This is Baabji Motors signing off. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and, as always, happy diagnosing.